Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Redmen TV and your latest episode of Expert Insight. My name is Dan Club. I'm delighted to say I'm joined by former Eredivisie forward Anco Jansen. Now, first off, Anco, how you doing, mate? You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Nice to meet you. Thanks.
No, my pleasure having you on. I said Eredivisie forward because I could have gone through the list of clubs that you played for, but it might have took a little bit of time. Zwolle, Cambuur, Emmen, Breda. There are so many clubs. I literally didn't have time in the intro to get them all in. But yeah, let's do this anyway. You have been across the Liverpool social media world over the past 24, 48 hours because of a conversation you had with Arne Slot, Liverpool head coach, of course. You've been playing paddle with Arne, and it seems he's a big fan of Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk. Yeah, just tell us what we already know in terms of how this has happened and how it's hit the news, really.
Yeah, I live in the same city as him, and when he has some time off, he like to play paddle. And we have a group of old football players here who likes to play paddle also. So when he's free, he contact us and we play. So last week we played, and yeah, after a game of paddle, we drink a coffee and then we talk about football, of course. And now he's in Liverpool. He talks a little bit more about football because I'm working for Dutch media, football media. So before he didn't say too much about football, but now he's working in England. So he says some things about football. So it's really nice.
No, absolutely, yeah. And as I mentioned, speaking about Virgil van Dijk, of course, fellow compatriot of yours, fellow Dutchman, Liverpool captain, as I mentioned. And the quotes were, he's not normal. I take it he's been quite impressed by Virgil, not just in terms of the matches, but also in training. And I guess as well in terms of his leadership qualities and all that side of things.
Yeah, no, we spoke about him, of course, because he's Dutch. So we and the European Championships have just been finished, and in Holland we were not very positive about Virgil. And so then we see the first games of Liverpool, and his style of play changed a little bit, in my opinion. So we talked about that, and then he said, "Yeah, but this guy is amazing in his football abilities and the way of playing. I guess it's not what he said, but I guess the style of play of Arne Slot. Then he has to do more with the ball and take more, how I say that, initiative.
Yeah.
And I think he's doing very well. And he said that on training, this guy can play football. It's for a central defender, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's frankly, he is. He's been exceptional since he arrived at the football club. I've never really understood some of the criticism he got from the Dutch media. It feels like every time there's an international break, there's some big Liverpool a Dutch legend coming out and saying, he needs to do more for the Dutch national team and all that sort of stuff. And what's your take on that then? We'll address that now, I guess.
I think it's also about the expectations about him. He's our captain, and yeah, we expect so much from him. And yeah, maybe that's why we are also a little bit critic country, I guess. But yeah, I think in the European Championship it was not his best performance. And we think he can do more, and we see in Liverpool now that he can.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, let's stick with Arne Slot then for a moment. Obviously, as you mentioned, I think you're from the same area as him, as you touched upon right at the start. A perfect start to life at Liverpool, a time of recording. 3 wins from 3, yet to concede a goal. Given what you know about Arne Slot, I actually did a bit of research before speaking to you. You actually played against him 5 times back in his footballing days. And from what you know is him as a coach,
You
obviously,
did your research.
I did my research. There's more to come yet. Don't worry about that. We're just starting. You play. Obviously,
Okay.
he managed Alkmaar. He managed Cambuur. Have you been surprised by the start to life he's made at Liverpool? Obviously, following on from Jurgen Klopp, like to actually take the job is a big old step in itself. It shows the character of Arne. But to walk in and almost just take it so seamlessly and in his stride, does that shock you at all, or is that just the way he is?
No, it didn't shock me because I think he's very special. And Liverpool is very lucky to have him, and I don't think now you've seen him now in the first couple games, but I think this guy is really special. If you talk with him about football, but also on the Dutch television, and also in England after the games, if you see his analysis about games, he's really amazing. So no, I'm not surprised, and I think there's more to come.
I hope so. I've been lucky enough to speak to him literally in passing, like as he's gone past me once or twice. He seems like a nice guy. I haven't spoke football with him yet. That hopefully will come down the line. But he seems like a nice person, which is kind of it's a good tick in the box. Let's put it that way. You've touched on it a moment ago. Then you said there might be more to come. You think he will just go from strength to strength in the job. I mean, as I mentioned, the early signs are so positive, but we are only really seeing the very early days of Arne Slot's Liverpool. It is just going to get better and better, really, I imagine.
Yeah, but this is for me, it's a little bit the same story like in Holland. We always think like, yeah, but the bad times will come and then we will see what kind of coach he is. But in all the things he did in Holland, bad times never came. So he always managed to bring up good things again. And so yeah, I've never seen him in bad times, but he always I think it's crazy because he always managed to turn bad like two bad games and then he turns it into positive again. So yeah, it's crazy, I guess.
No, absolutely. Yeah, he just finds a way of making things right again, I guess. We'll move on to Virgil van Dijk in a bit more detail. Obviously, we touched on him right at the top. Liverpool and, of course, Netherlands captain at the moment. I mean, although he does get some criticism around his performance with the Dutch national team every now and then, as a career, obviously, started out in Eredivisie, Celtic, now Liverpool captain, led Liverpool brilliantly for the past 18 months, really. I mean, what a phenomenal footballer we've got on our hands.
Unbelievable. Now, let's say we're criticizing him, but at the end, we all know he's an amazing player, and he's also the captain of the national team. He's a leader. No, and I think this crazy Pickford, this what happened there. This was a little bit of setback for him because he was doing amazing then, and of course, if you have a ligament injury, it's not easy to come back on the same level as you were, especially for him because he was on another planet level. So, but you saw last year on the end, he's getting back on track, and yeah, how he started this season. Yeah, this is for me, this is one of the best centre backs in the world.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. And as you say there, to come back from such a serious injury and to get back to close to the level he was at, if not at that level, it speaks volumes of the football and the man that we're talking about.
Yeah, of course. And in England with all the games and come back so quick and play a lot of games directly. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it certainly is. Yeah. On him then, in terms of the future, he spoke recently after sort of in the middle of the recent international break that he wants to carry on until the 2026 World Cup. I guess that's good news for everyone, obviously the Dutch national team, but also for Liverpool because he, to me, Anco, feels like a player. Centre backs can go on a little bit longer. It feels like obviously Thiago Silva, Pepe in Portugal, they go on deep into their 30s sometimes. I think Van Dijk has the quality, the ability, and perhaps more importantly, sort of the intelligence and the game awareness to go on for Holland and Liverpool deep into his 30s.
Yeah, you never know because he has to stay free of injury, I guess. But yeah, we are delighted to have him in the squad, and he's our captain. So of course, he's a very important player, and yeah, they still last European Championship. We criticize him, but we don't have a better one. So no, it's for us. It's great to have him as a captain.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll touch on Cody Gakpo now if we possibly can, because this is a player you played against twice during your Emmen days, I think it was. Once he played.
He scored?
I think he might have scored once. Yeah,
I
once
think.
was he was playing under 21s for PSV when he played against them once, which is frightening. I know.
Oh,
I know.
then you really did your
Oh
research.
yeah, I wasn't messing around. I wanted to touch on Cody Gakpo with you, obviously because he's Dutch first and foremost, but also because of the position that he plays. Now, predominantly plays left wing, certainly when it comes to playing for the Dutch national team. We've seen in the summer just how brilliant he was in that role. But last year, and ever since he arrived at Liverpool, really, certainly under Jurgen Klopp, he played central, even played a bit in midfield. It felt like he was versatile, but it wasn't doing him any favours playing in all these different positions because you could never get a run in the side. Now, you, from what I could tell, did similar sort of jobs, did similar sort of roles, played central a bit, played on the wing a little bit. Did it ever sort of annoy you, I guess? And might it have annoyed Cody Gakpo, the fact that he could never just play in what he felt like was his best position?
No, first of all, I don't think we're similar players because I was more a playmaker,
Mm.
so I was more a number 10. But some coaches think I'm too lazy, so they put me on the left wing, so I don't have to defend a
Okay.
lot.
Okay.
But he is like a really quick player with individual action. We all know his ability to go inside and shoot with his right leg. So I think he's a typical winger. And yeah, I didn't understand why he was playing striker last year. Um, I think he's a typical winger, and how I saw him and how he performed on his best, it was always on the left wing.
Mm.
So yeah, I know him as a winger, and I see him as a winger.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And everyone I've spoken to, really, certainly from a Dutch perspective, has said the same thing. I was lucky enough to speak to Bolo Zenden when Liverpool first signed him, and he was one of his coaches actually in the academy and stuff like that. And he said to me at the time, "Oh no, he's just a left winger. That's where he plays." So it
Yeah,
was a bit of a surprise to all of us when Jurgen Klopp and Pep Lijnders a little bit started playing him central, almost like a Bobby Firmino 2.0 version, but it never really worked. He was good, but we never got the best out of
yeah.
him.
Also have a totally different style like Firmino. Firmino is a way,
Dropping deep and
yeah,
yeah,
it's a way other style. So I don't understand, but yeah,
no. Well, hopefully,
at least he makes minutes
yeah,
then,
yeah.
because on the left wing he has a lot of other players.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of
So
competition. Yeah,
yeah,
Diaz has started the season
oh,
brilliantly as
whoa,
well.
he's amazing. This
Yeah, he
week in
is.
the international break, he was also amazing.
Yeah, he was. But hopefully, I really like Cody Gakpo. I think he's a very, very intelligent, very graceful footballer who can pop up with big goals as well. So I think and hope he'll get his opportunity.
The last big tournaments for our country, he always was our main man. So, and that's for me, that's very important. If you want to be a big player who play for a big club, you have to be there on big moments. And he showed us that every time we play very important tournaments, we can count on him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The man for the big occasion, yeah, time and time again. I was going to ask you, actually, I'll ask it now. How high do you think his level is then? I mean, he's playing for Liverpool, so very high. But in terms of like being a star for a club like Liverpool or at the very highest level, certainly in that national team football as well, do you think he can be that main man week in, week out and get that level of consistency?
I think he can, but yeah, like you said, in a club like Liverpool, you have other players who are playing on your position also, and you have like world stars like Diaz. So it's because that's his. I think he can only be a big star on his best position,
Mm.
so left wing, I guess. But yeah, it's difficult to say. His mentality is also not like I think he don't want to be a big star like in the way he lives and like for example, if you compare him with Memphis in
Mm.
our national team, yeah, he is like how you say that? What's the English word? Extraordinary.
Yeah.
And Gakpo is always silent, humble. So maybe that's also a little bit the difference between the big stars and him because he's always a little bit quiet, maybe.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair enough. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's accurate. Yeah, I do.
Uh,
I really like Cody Gakpo. I've got a lot of time for him, both on and off the pitch, to be honest.
yeah.
Mine Gravenberch now, we'll touch on him. Perhaps the standout performer for Liverpool so far this season.
You saw
Everybody,
the you
go
saw
on.
the pass from him
Yeah,
against Germany.
did I?
Oh,
Every angle of that pass I've seen
um,
now.
unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable. And who was it? He said, was it Van der Vaart that said you may as well have gone home after that? I think
Yeah,
he
yeah,
said this
yeah,
way. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. He
yeah,
wanted to just get off because he'd seen
yeah,
enough of the football. Yeah, I was
yeah,
with him to be honest.
yeah.
Yeah, just sensational. Obviously, Arne Slot has got the best out of him. It's fair to say in a slightly deeper role. You only faced him once in your career, Anko. You
Young young
young,
team
yeah.
also.
No,
Yeah.
no, no. Ajax, proper Ajax first team.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, you got beat 5-0. I hate to tell
Oh,
you. Yeah, so yeah, not great, but
well,
wonderful footballer. Like oozes class, so much ability. Didn't really work out at Bayern Munich after his move from Ajax, of course. A bit of a slow first season at Liverpool, but shown glimpses of his quality. How impressed have you been with him? Not just at Liverpool this season, but going back to the Ajax days as well. Like from a Holland point of view, he's a supreme talent who could go right to the very top, it feels like.
yeah. Now, when he started to play, immediately we all thought, what a player this is. Like he plays now. He was in his younger days at Ajax when he's made his debut. He was like this also. He's tall, but his technical ability is amazing, especially for a player who's tall like this. And also his walk, his running, his how I say this. He's high up. He's everything looks nice about him. But in Holland, we all said um, his transfer to Bayern Munich was too early, and there were a lot of people who said like when he was not playing at Bayern Munich at all, and they say we told him don't go too early to a big club, stay at Ajax for 2 more years, show yourself, be the main man, and then make your transfer. So this was a little bit that was a discussion about him, but we all knew his potential. And then yeah, of course, it says enough that Liverpool pays like I guess 40 million.
Euros maybe falls a bit
What
lower in pounds,
40
but yeah,
million 40 million euros? Yeah, but
yeah.
40 million euros for a player who didn't play much at Bayern Munich. That's a lot of money. So they knew also he had the potential. And I guess now Arne Slot is taking it out of him.
No, he certainly is. Yeah, similar to what I asked about Cody Gakpo. Really, it feels as though Ryan Gravenberch is actually coming for a fair amount of criticism in inverted commas as well around the Dutch national team. I know he chose not to join up with the under-21 squad at the time last year, which didn't go down particularly well. Ronald Koeman's been speaking about him again recently. But for me, Ango, it feels as though he has the ability, he has the talent, he has the natural raw class to be a future star of this Holland team once again, much in the same way that Van Dijk is, of course, different, obviously very different, but he should and could be cementing his place in that midfield for many, many years to come.
Yeah, I think the same. This guy, if like now he's showing his potential, then yeah, I cannot see him not playing in the national team or no. This guy is yeah, he's an amazing player, and now yeah, if you see this season, it's he's playing every game in the national break. He played both games. Both games he was amazing. So that's also on the mental part of he knew it was his first big chance. So he has to. There's pressure for him, I guess. So he has to show that he's because we have in the midfield we have a lot of good players, also young players. And yeah, now he played these 2 games. Now we all talk like this is we cannot think about a team without him anymore.
Yeah, no,
So
absolutely. It feels as though he was good last season, under Jurgen Klopp, but we were just scratching the surface. And now Arne Slot's come in, obviously somebody who would have watched him back in his Ajax days, might have even coached against him, and obviously the Dutch connection being there. It feels like he's just unlocked something in Gravenberch, and he's just absolutely ran with it. A sensational, sensational start of the season. Anco, absolute pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much for your time. Massively, massively appreciated. Everybody else, I'll see you and speak to you all again very soon. Take it easy.